Straight to the money, yeah. Straight to the money, yeah. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. No time for decoys or a detour. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. No time for decoys or a detour. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. Big blue face honey, yeah. No time for decoys or a detour. I'm tryna keep that check running, yeah. I'm tryna get my people straight. Got a lot up on my plate, cause you know I gotta get it, yeah. Do whatever it gotta take, cause I gotta get this cake. So I'm jigging around the city, yeah. I'm sliding, soon as the sun coming up, I'm grinding. Nightfall, I ain't moving, I'm vibing. Cause these niggas out here hating and they robbing, but I ain't hiding, no. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. I'm going straight to the money, yeah. No time for decoys or a detour. I'm going straight to the money.
Yo, what the deal? It's your boy Wild Man Teddy T. You know I'm representing Broward County every day, Lauderdale 954, man. Seriously, man, y'all gotta understand one thing. This area right here, South Florida, is a music bed, you know what I mean? History goes back for music back to the 60s, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta really understand, you know, we had a station out here called WRBD. It was the AM station owned by the Rivers. Ancient brother, legendary brother came through, man, Joe Fisher, you know what I'm saying? Brought in Jerry Russian, James T, you know what I'm saying? And they locked in with Henry Stone. Henry Stone was a big record producer down in Miami, you know what I'm saying? Betty Wright, Casey and the Sunshine Band, you know, very instrumental into bringing this scene into Broward County, you know what I'm saying? With us having this WRBD radio station, major stars was coming to Broward to get on the radio, you know what I'm saying? I moved down here, I started coming to visit in like 81, 82. And I was going to Lauderdale Mall. Foresight Records had a record store. Big shout out to Vanis Lopez, you know what I'm saying? The ADE, the whole crew. They was all up there with a record store in Lauderdale Mall selling 12 inches. They had a studio in the back. So I was like, you know, I'm fascinated. I was always into the music. I'm up there every summer, I come down. I remember one year they had this record, Section Lady and the Chief, Where's the Beef? Where's the Beef? And that was one of Foresight's first records, you know what I'm saying? And I used to go up and I remember ADE used to be up there DJing, you know what I mean? He used to always play the records for everybody when you come in. You can listen to him, see what you want, you know what I mean? And you had the Oakland Park Flea Market was very instrumental in selling 12 inches. My man Mike and the Old Dread, I can't remember the Old Dread, but they used to sell, as soon as you walked in, record store right there, they sold a lot of 12 inches right there to help perpetuate the game. Also got a shout out, my Uncle Frank Wizard Colson was the producer of BBSMP. I need you, sha-na-na-na-na, you're the one I want. You know what I'm saying? Them boys was from Dilla High School, they rep, you know what I'm saying? Then I got to shout out my man Rod and Chris Pringle. They got a deal in 1987 with Nasty Mix, one of the first artists from South Florida to get a major deal. Nasty Mix was who Sir Mix-a-Lot was with. You know what I'm saying? They was right here from Broward. Rod Whitehead, he became a hot producer for Luke, everybody, working with Ice Cube, everything. So there's a lot of people that's from Broward County did a lot of things, man. Big shout out to my man Fat Man, AKA Ron May, Fat Man Boy Wonder, DJ Combination Kevin Flournoy, Ron May, they was at Nepenthes Sunday night. Man, 83, 84, 85, 86, you talking about the epitome of Fort Lauderdale music, man. Like, Gigolo Tony come from the Panthers, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 14th Street Players. 14th Street was where Cops started at, you know what I'm saying? 14th Street Players was causing havoc back then, man. A lot of things y'all don't understand, man, that was going on in Broward that kind of shaped everything. For Fat Man and Boy Wonder got on the Hot 105 mix show, man. You know, that was like the first mix show in South Florida that some people from Broward started, you know what I mean? Ron May was always instrumental working with Uncle Luke, you know, doing promotions. Ron May really helped revolutionize promotions, was one of my mentors, along with Chris Pringle, you know what I mean, in the promotional game. And this is all throughout the 80s when we was just running. You had Get Some crew coming out of the 90s. You had, what's my man name? What's his name? Damn, it's gonna come to me in a minute, but it was a lot of artists, modern bass music that was coming right out of Broward County. Foresight Records had KJ and the fellas. Shy-D was here. Foresight first before he went to Luke, coming out of Atlanta, you know what I mean? A lot of big things popping off. Now myself, I kind of wiggled in the game coming in about 93. Well, from 90, 91, I got to deal with Joy Boy Records. Big shout out to Island, Joy Boy, the whole clique over there. I had my man named Mert, Mad Money Mert. We had he called himself Eminem. So he got picked up by Joy Boy. We went on tour with Get Fresh Girls, Disco Rick, Urkin Jerk, you know what I'm saying? DJ Laz, Danny D, them back in the days. I learned a lot from back then, you know, we was getting bootlegged and everything, but that was just a part of the business, you know what I'm saying, of learning what was going on. 93, I moved to Atlanta and I started doing street promotions. Chris Pringle, the guy I told you about earlier, he was doing head of promotions at Scotty Boy Records. And I met this girl that was out and she was passing out product for Ice Cube. I'm like, damn, what you doing? She's like, I do street promotions. Priority Records, they pay my housing, my tuition. I'm like, damn, just to pass out product? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get down with that. So I called my homeboy, like, yo, I'm in the A, man, what up? He said, oh man, I need somebody. I got this new artist coming out called Skilo, got a record called I Wish. Him and his dad just got a little, you know, got some money, little insurance come in, you know what I mean? I was like, let's rock. So I was the first person to get Skilo played on the radio. It went #1 in 2 weeks after that. After that, I started working for Uptown Records because my man Chuck Bone put Chris Pringle on. Chuck Bone was head of promotions at Uptown 92, 93. So I did So For Real, Father MC, Mary J. Blige, you know what I'm saying, Jodeci. I was up in the office Uptown when Puff was doing A&R for Andre Harrell. And I started working for all the major labels, Jive, Loud, Atlantic. Big shout out to Justo, R.I.P. my brother Justo, one of the first people that really started putting emphasis on the street DJs, the mixtape DJs. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about in the infinite stages of street promotions. I was one of the first people to do guerrilla marketing all around the country, throughout the Southeast. With some of the hottest artists that you just named. I did Wu-Tang, did Exhibit, Alcoholics, the Big Mac, Biggie and Craig, Biggie and Craig Mack, the McDonald's, we did that from I-10 to LA. You know, and I started understanding the element of breaking records, you know what I'm saying? And when I went to Atlanta, you know, I opened up to more of the corporate element. So I came back here, started working for Uncle Luke. My first single with Uncle Luke went gold, Raise the Roof. They was pushing Luke Sheila, because he had just got to deal with Island Records. A lot of people don't know, in 1994-95, Scarred was one of the #1 records in the country, like Ain't No Nigga was one of the #1 records for Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. So what happened was Luke got picked up by Island and Jay-Z got picked up by Def Jam. So they was working Luke Sheila. They tried to clean Luke's image up, but I was like, man, Raise the Roof. This is Uncle Luke party record. So Luke was like, man, go ahead, jump in the van. Luke had this badass van, man, had over $30,000 worth of equipment. He had that since like 91, 92, 93, 94. I just felt privileged just to be a part of that Luke University, Luke Empire, to actually learn that game, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Jeff Sanchez, who was with us at Scotty Brothers. He hooked me up with Luke. We started working at Luke from 96, 97. I went over to Onyx. It was a club on South Beach that was one of the first black clubs on South Beach. You know what I'm saying? And we started doing everybody. I was head of promotions over there. And my man Donovan, he wanted to start a record label. So, you know, I knew everything about the music business. So we started First String Entertainment. And my first group I got on was called First Platoon. I called them First Platoon because it was the Miami's first official hip hop group. Like, you know, we always been making music out here, but just the element of it being hip hop, you know, with the boom bap lyrical element, you know, was with my folk First Platoon, you know what I'm saying? So we cracked them off. We got to deal with Lightyear Weir. And then we turned around and found this kid named X-Con and got him a deal with Elektra Records. So at the same time we got him with Elektra, I was instrumental in getting Icon signed to Electric. Two Icons would get fucked up. You know, right then we was giving everybody record deals. Steve Rifkin was real. Him and his whole family was cool because I had broke so many records for them. They gave me extra deals for my people with First String. I got like 3 extra deals for my man Big Ben. He was a bodyguard at the club. and he ended up getting the deal, you know what I'm saying? A lot of cats got a record deal, you know what I'm saying, from all that. So, you know, I was just still learning. I was about 25, 26 years old, and we bought 99, I started doing underground radio down in Miami. Flavor 919, 909 The Bomb, Mix 96 with my man Daddy Saw. We was on 909 The Bomb together. I mean, we was on Flavor 919 together, and he was like, look, I'm gonna create this radio station. It's like how when we on, my clique was called Three-Way Parlay, and he had Daddy Saw in the reggae, so he's like, I'm doing a station called Mix 96. So Butterfuko and them, they called us. Daddy Saw ended up dying of cancer, but they called us when they was ready. You know, Daddy Saw made sure that me and my brother Ant-Man was still a part of that dream that he wants. So we got on Mix 96, and I remember the day they brought Khaled in. They was like, yo, Ted, you know what I mean? We got this DJ wants you to, you know, let him get on. I was like, cool. He was like, yo, they say you got artists, yo, I got beats. I was like, word? He started playing beats for me. I called my man Donovan. We bought a beat from him right then on the spot for the single we had called Connected. And he was like, yo, I've been producing with Nasty. Nasty told me everything about you. Nasty's DJ Nasty in Orlando. DJ Nasty and Pro Style have always been instrumental in breaking all my records. Like when I work records, I worked them through Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and everybody, all the DJs was fluently, they knew me because I was the one bringing a lot of music from the South up there. While I'm breaking one artist, I'm bringing you the new Trick Daddy, I'm bringing you the new Trina, I'm bringing you No Good But So Good, I'm bringing you, you know, all these different artists. So, you know, I was always instrumental in helping people throughout the country develop and get music out. So from 98, 97, 98, you know, we also started, I was rocking with SOP, Sounds of Prophet. Shout out to my man Cicero, the whole fam. Uncle Wiz once again came back and we was doing that. And that was big, you know, Sounds of Prophet was like a big street movement, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of, I remember the first show we did at the Honeycomb Hideout, it was over 2,000-3,000 people that was in that spot. And that was how the party started being right after that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Nassau boys for doing that joint with SOP. And I remember we got when Thugs Ball got picked up on one of those little CDs that we got like 50K for when Thugs Ball picked up. And the thing about SOP, because I was really instrumental on selling records, we was pushing CDs straight from the flea market. The flea market was doing like 400 CDs a week for us, you know what I'm saying? And we showed a lot of that first CD, man. It was incredible with Dirty Foot and all those joints, man. That was hot, man. Big shout out to everybody. You know, for Parts Unknown, Ragu, shout out to Ragu. Y'all checked him out earlier. Ragu was in for Parts Unknown, and Ragu was like the youngest one, but he was listening, and you could tell for right now how he paid attention because he's still in it doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? But we had a lot of situations. From SOP came this young brother named Jay Bling that y'all know as young Jeezy, you know what I'm saying? Jay Bling was good friends with Joe, called him Nemo, you know what I'm saying? And he came out and it was hot because I was one of the first people to play Jeezy records on the radio, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know what I mean? I also helped Jeezy do his first mixtape because he followed Joe and them do his first mixtape and rocked out. And from there, Uncle Luke got us all on 99 Jams doing the Luke Show. You know, I was the producer of the Luke Show. We helped put all the DJs and everything on there. And working with Uncle Al, shout out to my brother Uncle Al, RIP to my brother. Al B. Silk came in and asked me to be on the radio with him, and I said, only way I'm gonna be on the radio if Uncle Al could be on the radio. And he said, well, let's go tell him the good news. So it was Uncle Al was on every day of the week at 8:30, and Irie and Cool G was in and out, you know. So I did that era of 98, 99 with Al B. Silk. That was incredible as far as understanding, learning radio, being #1. Then we went to Power 96. And Power 96 opened up a whole new era for me. You know, I got to be able to do my own show. I went #1, the station went #1. We was #1 for 2000 to 2006 when I actually quit radio. During my time of being on radio, I broke so many different artists, you know, from Pretty Ricky to, I mean, the list goes on. I was the first person in the country to play Sean Paul, Yin Yang Twins. Icons, everybody, man. It's like I was breaking everybody. I can't even remember all the records that I broke coming from Power 96, you know. And the element of just understanding business, you know what I mean, and being professional, good communication skills, enthusiasm to really, you know, perpetuate the game. And, you know, I quit radio and I just went around the country and started teaching everybody game, you know what I mean. Came back and rocked another label out of Lauderdale that's very prominent called Deep Side. Shout out to my partner Silk, you know what I'm saying, Ragu, and Ragu and my man was kind of the initiators of it. Silk came in, boom, blew it up. I had already been working with Young AC since he was 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? He had been opening up for JT Trick, everybody. He'd been doing big things. So him, Poncho, Jay Baller, they just came in, Deep Side created another Lauderdale movement, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Sante Samuels, another Lauderdale born brother out of Lauderdale Lakes, came through, invested some money in us, you know what I mean? We popped up, Goons United by a New School, you know what I mean? That thing kind of went its way, you know. Silk, he got locked up, but Silk's out now, so y'all look out for the return of Deep Side. We doing big things. Deep Side's coming back. We got some hot artists that we already got from back in the days, and we got some new artists coming right now. So, you know, you just got to understand one thing about Lauderdale. We've always been a part of what's next and the development of South Florida music scene, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel blessed that people refer to me as a legend, you know what I mean? Just for some of the things I've done. You know, one thing, I'm the only DJ in Broward County, in South Florida, to ever be on Rap City, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not really even a DJ, you know what I mean? I get up, I fuck around a little bit, but I did so much for the game. I broke so many records. They was like, yo, let Teddy get up there, he'll figure that shit out. And I did, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's beautiful. I just want to tell everybody that don't sleep on Broward County. You got a lot of things that's going on around here. It's a lot of instrumental people that you might not know, but they're the reason why you're doing and listening to the shit that you're doing when it comes to the music scene.